Meowdy McHalderson. Welcome to video. Today we're gonna be drawing some landscapes. I really do need to work on my backgrounds, so it's always a good time to work on landscapes. We're gonna do some landscapes based on Minecraft scenery. I'm going to look on I have a Minecraft account on Tumblr, like a Mindblur, that I post my Minecraft screenshots to when I post them. I'm pretty bad about remembering to post on there if I'm honest, and I'm gonna check there for some reference images. Yeah, I still needed that tab. What is my Minecraft? Milkbean, probably. Tumblr? Oh, yeah, here we are. Milkbean MC. I obviously haven't updated this in a while. There's some accounts there that I could look at too for some pictures. Yay, Etho. I'm probably going to find more Etho than anything on here. But I actually wanted some reference images, pleasies. Reaper's currently sitting... Oh, my cable is a little bit tangled. That's fine. Reaper's currently sitting by the table. None of this is what I was looking for. No, I want to edit. Oh. Tagged. Minecraft. Oh. Craft. Go. None of those are sceneries, so not the most helpful. Clearly it has been a while since I posted on here. Those are the previous season of the Fishbowl SMP. I should take some new screenshots of the Fishbowl SMP. I don't want to... Oh, I have to log in. It's not very fun. I do have a password. I mean, an account already. Ugh. I already have an account. Oh, continue with email. I don't even know which email I use for Tumblr. Did I guess correctly on my password? Apparently I guessed correctly on my password. Which account did it log me into is another question. Because have you really lived if you haven't accidentally made multiple accounts for a website? Ah, it logged me into my main Tumblery Doodles. That's fine. But I did just need a reference picture. I do like the idea of doing some water scenery, but that's not today's goal. I like this. So I find when you're converting a Minecraft screenshot into just something that doesn't look so Minecrafty, a lot of it is just taking the edges and making them rounder. Sorry, I'd have to have the camera a lot higher, taller, for you to be able to see both my reference image and what I'm drawing, I think. Let's use the ruler and make a little square. It's not going to be the most good square, but it will be a square. Well, a rectangle, to be more precise. It's a rectangle. I actually find Minecraft screenshots a lot easier to draw than looking at real life scenarios, because when you take a screenshot of Minecraft, taking the screenshot already flattens it for you, which I find useful. So the screenshot that I have, we've got kind of grassy here, and then the fence is here, and it goes here. I'm doing light sketches, hopefully you can kind of see that. And then there's a distant post here, and then another here. And because as we are coming closer, there is a post here-ish. There's also melons in the picture. So obviously, since we're kind of un-Minecrafting it as we draw, we'd make those a lot rounder, because real-life melons are not square. But you can get square real-life melons, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I've never seen a real-life square melon in person. I've only seen pictures. But I would like to see a square melon. I think that would be cool. This is the pathway. We can have one big old pumpkin here, rather than drawing all the pumpkins. The thing about drawing a Minecraft screenshot is, unless you are looking for, like, accurate, like, it's going to be something you draw a lot. Like, I did have that comic I was doing. It didn't really have any narrative to it, but I was drawing the same locations in Minecraft over and over again. So I needed accuracy so I could draw that over and over again without having to remember which parts I was leaving in and leaving out. But if you're just drawing a one-time screenshot and you don't have to worry about remembering later, then you can think about which parts you want to leave in and leave out. This is our fencing. Wooden planks. Obviously wooden planks would not have this curve, but the thing about doing a drawing is it doesn't always have to be accurate, and that is good. And then that's our pathway here. Pathway. A log. I'm not going to draw the vines because I am lazy. There's a lookout post up top. More logs. We're going to give a kind of sloped roof instead of the roof it actually has. I guess we could also draw a lantern here. I know you can't actually see the lantern hanging from this post in the picture, but I just think it would be fun to draw. It's also not going to be the most accurate lantern, because I'm not awesome at drawing lanterns. Oh, I didn't do the date on this, did I? Let's put the date. I think I need to put more ink in this ink pad, actually. because I use this thing a lot. It is the 15th at the moment. Bloop. I've got my laptop next to me exporting one of my other videos. I'm probably going to have that exporting and editing videos all day. How fun for it. I finally got a computer, and yeah, I do all my video editing and exporting on my laptop still. So then I can still use the computer. Not that I've used my computer at all today. It's just inside doing its thing. So I guess I could have actually had videos exporting on that while I've been here instead. Oh, I could be exporting double the videos at the moment since I don't need my laptop or computer at the moment. Ooh, do we want to put landscape studies down the side here? Nah, we'll just have the date. I should have brought my Minecraft stickers in here with me, and then we could have seen some... added some Minecraft stickers to it. That could have been fun. Right, melon. Melons are kind of more oval in shape. And they kind of have ziggly lines like this. Of course, my preferred way of doing things is I do a lot of the details. I add a lot of detail when I'm doing the colouring. Of course, that's kind of how I do things. Digital art, it's... if you're doing traditional art, maybe it's easier to do, put more details into the sketch. But, you know, there's no wrong way to do it in my opinion. I don't actually know much about melons. So I could easily have all my information about melons entirely wrong. Rather than drawing too many melons, I'm gonna, you know, mostly focus on the melons that are up front. Because I assume those are the ones that would have your attention. And then we can kind of just have greenery as the background. And then we've got this post that's got log, log, log. The fence, it's a stone wall. A log. Logs are fun when you're with friends. Logs are always fun. There is a kind of little window slit here. You can kind of see the log as it sticks out over here. Log, log, log. I'll just show you my reference image again. And then we have... there is also lanterns on here, but they're so small and in the distance that I don't want to draw them. And I'm not getting this entirely, the placement entirely accurate either, if I'm honest. You'd be able to see more of it, but if I did have it more accurate, but well. And then there is also some clouds in the background. Ta-da! I think I'm going to use gouache to colour this, because I'm just really loving gouache at the moment, and I really want to use up all of this gouache paint. I'll have to use smaller paintbrushes because this picture is a little bit on the smaller side. Yeah, this little paintbrush. So let's do the pathway first, I think. So I need some mixing space. I've got each colours on here. There's a bit of paper under there. I need like a lightish kind of brown, slightly lightish brown. This is more of a mustard yellow, but we'll add some brown to it. Brown, brown, brown. My brown in my gouache paint has dried out, so I need to add a whole bunch of moisture to it. I'm definitely seeing the issue with this jelly gouache. It really does dry out easily, but I think that if you have a lot of water on hand, you should be fine. Just maybe if you might get sick of having to add so much water, and you definitely need paper that can hold up to more water. Or just be more tolerant of your paper potentially buckling. You know, I guess it's up to what your standards of art supplies are. Like, if you just go through a lot of gouache paint, and maybe your bar for quality is a little lower, like my bar for quality is definitely a little lower, because I just intend on using a lot of gouache paint. But if you want all your gouache paint to be really nice, maybe you want to get something slightly better quality than the Hemi gouache paint. And also I think it's about how much it costs where you live. Like, if you can get Hemi gouache paint for cheap, then, and you don't mind that the quality isn't amazing, then you should definitely go for it. But if Hemi gouache paint is expensive where you live, then I would not go for it. I think I actually got this Hemi gouache for pretty cheap. I don't remember. I think I need to get this pathway a little lighter. There we go. I do also need an orange for that pumpkin. This is kind of the closest I have to an orange, but that's kind of a more goldy color than I want. So I'll grab a little bit of that and then add a little bit of red to it, I think. And by a little bit, I mean this big old blob. Yay, blob. I think in future I will do more videos kind of like this one, where I do drawings based on Minecraft screenshots to practice landscapes, but in future I will actually prepare a little bit more and get some pictures on hand, rather than, you know, starting recording and then looking for the pictures. Probably better to prepare beforehand. I did plan on actually preparing beforehand, and then I was like, you know what, I feel like recording, I'm gonna just go into it and not prepare, because that's the vibe. We can obviously layer up to add shading and that kind of thing as we go. Logs. I'm going to need to mix a grey, because this gouache set does not come with a grey. I definitely need to also practice my mixing of colours, if I'm honest. There's definitely a lot of things I could use practice with. But that's okay, because I'm sure I will eventually make videos on all those things, and you can practice with me if you like. or you can practice something else. As usual, I would love to hear about what art endeavours you're up to, or you can tag me on any social media with to see what things you're up to. We'll do a brown roof, shall we? Why not? We'll match the logs. Did I mean to have logs holding up this layer too? I'm gonna assume I did. I actually added some of my other gouache paint into my jellies. I added 2 of my colours mushed in to. I wanted to see if mixing my other gouache would help the squash at all. So I guess we'll find out about that. I added my dark umber and one of my blues to the brown and the blue in this jelly gouache set. Got some more gouache at home. Maybe I can slowly add other gouache to this gouache and see if that changes how fast it dries at all. Bloop, 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 bloop. Of course, in the screenshot, all the browns are a lot darker. But again, if you're not doing it like a comic where you need it to be accurate panel to panel, and you're just doing a one-time screenshot, I think it's fine to just smudge and change the details as you see fit. I did really enjoy the first season of the Fishbowl SMP too. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, you will have already seen new episodes of Season 2. I'm hoping to really improve my ability to edit during Season 2. I should look online and find some guides on improving my editing. In theory, I think I should also be able to stream from my computer now, but I don't know, that's a lot of pressure, my dudes, because you're interacting with people in real time, and I'm just a little bit nervous about that. I find it easier when it's not one-on-one, and the thing about streaming is you don't start with an audience built in, obviously. You have one person join, then you have 2 people join, and you slowly build it up over time, and the idea of sitting there with that one person watching and I'm just interacting with the one person seems very scary to me. Right. Oop. Too watery. The way I'm sitting is pinching something in my leg. Right, we need some little brownness in here where the roots are growing out of. We'll probably just do the one landscape for today's video. Maybe future videos will have more. Because I definitely need to work on my landscapes. But I'm quite happy with this one so far, I think. Considering it's been a while since I've last done this kind of landscape, I'm definitely actually happy with it. For you can also see the paper's not the most happy with it. Because my brown paint here is a little bit dry, I'm having to kind of blob it on a bit more, but that's fine. Maybe we like a blobby mood. And as I mentioned, I will have to mix some grey paint. I think I actually really like doing paintings where it's lots of small details. It's fun. This darker brown I'm using is the one where I mixed the other brand of paint in. It's not properly mixed in, so I'm probably using the other brand as I get little bits of it off the top. But you know what, that's fine. Bloop, 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 bloop. My cats are currently outside. I'll probably need to go out and get them in soon when Akira decides she has had enough of her outside time. I think my cats are also a little bit grumpy with me because I've been sitting in my grandparents' house, and Akira's not allowed to come into my grandparents' house because she attacks their cats, and I haven't had Lily in here with me because she goes out the cat door, and she's very good at moving things from in front of the cat door. In fact, she can even unlock the cat door when it's locked. And generally, if I'm here sitting, I want to be able to focus on my art and not keep carefully tracking Lily to make sure she hasn't busted out. Hey, Bun Bun. Bunny's just come strolling in. I have the back door open at the moment for the fresh air. I also have a blanket on my lap. That's my preference most of the time. I like to make the place super duper cold and then sit with a blanket on my lap. Because I'd rather be cold and have to warm myself up than be overheating. Because it is easier to warm up than it is to cool down. I also brought my markers inside so I could probably do some videos with my markers, which will be fun. And I started using that sketchbook that I'm practicing to see how long what the fastest I can fill up a sketchbook is. I like this. It's a lot of brown and orange, but I think I like it so far. I like it. No doubt I'll go back and add to this page in a future video. I've got a lot of pages where they feel a little bit too empty, and I will definitely be adding to them in future videos. I am definitely going to end up needing to buy more white paint, that's for sure. And this palette thing for mixing on has definitely come in handy also. I wish I had a better orange in this set, though. Like, that would be really useful. Yeah, that just looks a little bit silly, doesn't it? It's not orange anymore. I've mixed it out of being orange. And that is too red. Yeah, I've ruined my pumpkin. Ruined. Okay, I should wait for the pumpkin to dry before messing it up further. Ugh. I need kind of a pale green for these melons. Pale green. Paintbrush, paintbrush. Let's get from the screen. It's a little bit dry, so add some water to it. Water. Mixy, mixy, mixy. Goopy, 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 goop, goop. The thing about it is when it dries, then you mix it up and there's little clumples in it. So you definitely spend a decent amount of time mixing and getting it to yeah. Like, ordinary gouache is a lot easier to work with, I'll say that much. But at the same time, I still like this gouache for what it is, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not annoyed at this gouache for not being the same as other gouache. I think I am definitely at the point where I'm like, yeah, this wouldn't be the ideal thing to start with if you were wanting to get into gouache. But I think when it comes to paint in general, I would definitely recommend, if you want to paint, I would recommend going in and starting at either gouache or watercolor. Because when I first started painting, I'm sure it was at school and with acrylic paint, and I, for a long time, really hated acrylic paint. And I still kind of dislike acrylic paint, but I will use acrylic paint on occasion. It's just really not my favorite paint. Like, it's probably my least favorite paint, really. I just really don't like acrylic paint because I find it really annoying and plasticky. Hello, Bun Bun. Melon, melon, melon man. I want kind of a greener green for the leaves, I think, and for the stuff around the melons. The melons can be this kind of pastel green, but then, tablet, I still need you, please. But then, you know, a more saturated green for the greenery around them. The original goal was to do several little sceneries like this, but with how long it's taking me just to paint this one, it's gonna make more sense just to do the one for this video. So already, a little more green now for the leaferys, and I'll need a little bit of yellowish green for doing the lines on the melons. That pumpkin has actually dried. It's starting to dry and look a little bit better as it dries. Don't want to mix my green with that pink there, I guess. Maybe I should pause recording for a little bit and wait for some of this paint to dry. That would probably make sense. Oh, my Fitbit just vooped because it wants me to move. I'm so happy to have my buddy old pal Fitbit back on my arm. It was so weird not having it for that week or so that I wasn't wearing it. It's just like, it's so easy to get into the habit of looking at your wrist for the time that when it's suddenly not there, it's like, oh no, what is time? I exist outside of time now. There we go. And now I will halt for a little bit and wait for this paint to dry so we can do more layers on top. Back to finish the colouring of this. I've been doing some other gouache painting. I'm still waiting for a package to arrive. If it's not here by 5 PM, it won't be here today at all, which is very sad. I think I could use a little bit of darker brown, maybe around just underneath these. What is that little strip meant to be? It's shadow now. My laptop is exporting another video. Grandparents are now both sick. Their Nana was feeling unwell when they left, but now they are both feeling unwell. So, very fun timing for them since they're, away on their holiday and now they're both sick. But hopefully it is just the flu or cold or something like that. But Nana did take a COVID test before she left, and it was negative then. I should ask if they're going to take, if they're going to both do COVID tests now that they're feeling poopy. I'm guessing, she said she's in bed, and I'm guessing they won't have any COVID tests with them though. Ugh. Bad time to be sick though. But also, if they're both sick, but they've got their horrible sick germs away from me, because I catch bugs very easily. For I have only gotten COVID once, so that's a plus for me. I mean, I would rather have never have gotten COVID at all. Is there actually people left who haven't gotten COVID? It's like COVID just... We're in the post-COVID era in the sense that COVID has become part of life in a really terrible way because COVID is still this thing that can be very disabling. Like, why is this a normal part of life when it's still pretty horrifying? Right, let's get a yellowish green now. My grandparents' cat Reaper has been trying to convince me all day to give him more food. They've got biscuits available, but he wants wet food. I have this ink that I use for lining, and it's on sale at Spotlight, so I bought two more little ones, and I got blue and red ink. I've been wanting to get blue and red ink. For I do wonder what I'm meant to do with these little things once they're empty. This one is... Oh, I've just been jiggling it around so you can't actually tell how much is in it. But I use it a lot. I have another paintbrush somewhere. Oh, they're both in the water jar. I ordered some other little paintbrushes that I hope will be slightly better, because you can never have too many different size paintbrushes, and a lot of my paintbrushes are just slightly thicker than I need. So I would like some thinner paintbrushes. And I got more of my cheaper gouache. It's this, I think this is Reeves. Yeah, Reeves brand gouache. That is the gouache I mostly use. In fact, I think, yeah, well, most of my gouache is this, and then I've got an Winsor & Newton for white and pink. And obviously at the moment I am in fact using the jelly gouache, because why not? I might do a few videos where I have sped up ones of me doing landscapes. I've got a few ideas for more landscape-centric videos. I didn't put enough water in this cup. This cup is also still kind of annoying because of the fact that it's dinted in the bottom. I need a white, a yellow, a green. I put my other thing of Himi gouache in the new bag I got, so it will just sit there until I've finished off this palette. I'm really curious about how long it will take me to finish this palette, because I just think that's an interesting thing. I'm sure once I stop sitting inside and only being focused on art, it will slow down a lot in how much I use, but I'll probably still use a lot of paint. But I have been enjoying having so much space. It's pretty cool. And the fact that my laptop is busy and I'm not at my computer means I'm not getting so distracted from it either. Bloop, 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 bloop. Could definitely use a little bit of practice painting melons, I think. But, you know, out of all the things, I don't think melons are at the top of my most important list. Right, I need a grey. I am discovering I like paintings where I have lots of smaller details though, so maybe I should paint at a smaller scale more often. Or just do complete scenery stuff more often. Either way, more of that type of stuff, for sure. I guess if you're interested in Himi gouache paints, you can also watch all these videos so you can get an idea of how my ones do. Like, this is how they are looking at the moment after 1 day of use. I like picking up the container because it's like, wow, this is a lot of paint. It's nice and heavy. I need to mix some grey now. I'm running out of space on this palette. I do have some palettes at home. I could go grab one of those, obviously. Big old blob of black. I'm definitely going to end up needing more white gouache. It's a shame that the place I ordered the ink from, they don't sell individual tubes of gouache. When I've bought individual tubes of gouache previously, I've gotten it from the drawing room, but they're kind of pricey for just buying a singular tube of gouache. And honestly, I'm going to end up needing a lot of white gouache paint. A nice grey. Like, I will show you, actually. Exit the... So this is where I've gotten individual tubes of paint previously. You weren't meant to... You've usually got a bar that swipes down. Thank you. Gouache paint. So the Reeves gouache is what I've got, but I did not buy it from here. It was, oh, Talon's Art. That's the same brand as my sketchbooks that I have. It's kind of cool. That's got more colours in it. Same size, but costs less. Maybe I should buy gouache, get that brand next. There's this one that's got the primary colours, but this, the 37mm one, to get permanent white, $32 dues for just one tube, or zinc white, $32 dues, and that's like a lot of dollary dues. There's the, no, that's the one I just clicked on. There's this other one, the smaller tubules, 14 mils, and for context, this is a 12mm one. So that is, do they even have white in this size? Yes, they do. 14 for that size white. But also, I would need a lot of white, so what would be the point in getting the smaller white? For the lantern. Grey wall. Oh. I would say my packages are definitely not coming today. How sad. Very sad. Alexa, play Despacito. I will still need another layer over top of this grey. And I think using that black ink for lining will add a little bit more clarity to the full piece also. Also, a note that if you want to see my videos sooner, I do post them on Patreon first now. So if you want to pay a very low fee, a very low amount each month, you can see my videos slightly earlier, if that is something that interests you. There is also some videos and content that does not get posted onto my YouTube at all. So you get extra content. Like, I started playing Fear and Hunger, and the visuals aren't the most appropriate, so I only put that on Patreon. It's at the 18 plus tier, however, so you need to be at least 18, obviously, and that one does cost more. I felt like if I wanted to have any kind of adult content, the safest bet would just be to have it there and make sure that, you know, you're definitely opting in if you're choosing to pay for it, aren't you? I don't want to chance anyone coming across any 18 plus kind of content I make by accident. I probably should have put washi tape around this so I could have peeled the washi tape off at the end and been like, ta-da, look how tidy it is. But I did not do that. And that is fine. We cannot change it now. Oh, that is very smudged. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I need to do a blue background for the sky. I think I had a grassy little bit over by the pumpkin stem too that I'm forgetting about. I don't know, I don't have the picture open on my tablet anymore. Because why would I ever be nice to myself and make it easy by leaving that tab open? I hope my package magically comes tomorrow. And then I'm waiting for another package. Because my entire life is waiting for packages. I am the package king. Do I want a regular blue or do I want to make it slightly lighter for the sky? I think I want it slightly lighter. Definitely going to need so much more white gouache paint. I wonder if there's like a place I can bulk buy white gouache paint online. I came across this gouache paint, the Himi gouache paint, while looking on Trade Me for gouache paint, and I've seen the individual tubes, but it's still the same kind of price as the drawing room. Now for the sky. I have a nice little shade of blue mixed up here. Which one of these is the thinner one? This is the thicker one. It is the one I want. We can do the sky. It is starting to get a little darker. I was talking to Nana, and it turns out they're coming home early. They were going to come home on Thursday. Now they're coming home today. It is Tuesday. Which, on one hand, I'm happy to see them sooner than I expected, but on the other, it means I will have to move all my art supplies back to my own place. And I have been enjoying having all this extra space. But I have figured out a way to have the stand that my phone is on set up a little better, so I can improve how things are set up at home slightly. Not sure how long it'll take them to get home. I'm guessing it might be dark out by the time they get home. I don't know. I should probably wash my dishes that are in the sink before they do. Also, feel free to comment on this video what other things you'd like to see. I'm still planning on doing a video with watercolor paint, and I'll do more stuff with, like this one, with the Minecraft landscapes. And I would like to do some with markers, but again, I'm open to any suggestions of challenges or other art type things to do. Sorry, I was just concentrating on getting those small details. Thank you to Kay for suggesting doing the doing this, because I think I have actually really enjoyed this. I knew I would like it because I like doing pictures based on Minecraft scenery, but I think I really like how this turned out. Like, I like it a lot. Well, how it's turned out so far. It's not quite finished. And we've left the little white bits, those are the clouds. I accidentally put a little bit of white down by the orange, so I guess I'll just mush that into the orange. You can see I just accidentally flopped some water onto my blue sky. I will need a slightly darker grey. For those walls. Oops, I just grabbed blue instead of black. I guess we'll give a fun bluish lighting to the to the grey. It could be interesting at least. So I'm just going to keep adding that wrong colour. Because why not? Hehehe. I feel like I've had to clean my paint water so many more times today than I usually do. Ah, Bunny's snoozing on her cat tree. She's very cute. There was a piece of hair there. I know the actual bricks in the picture were a lot smaller, but I'm going to do it at this size just because I can. Still got to do the inking. Ta-da! Right, we're now done with the gouache. Oh, I've received a message. They're on their way now. Right, ink. Inky, inky, ink. They're on their way home now, but when they get back I should ask them if they both did COVID tests. And if they didn't, I should suggest they do that, because I think COVID, it doesn't always show up right at the start, which is why you do another one a few days in. But again, they could just be sick with something unrelated to COVID. Fingers crossed. Because when I had COVID, that was actually when they both had COVID too. That was also while my aunt and cousins lived with us for a while. One of my cousins had already moved out, so it was just my aunt and one cousin, and we all had COVID. It was a little COVID nest. Disgusting. While I was living with my mother and siblings still, there was a time where they all got COVID, but I managed to avoid the COVID that time. Which, yay me. Did plenty of COVID tests though. I'm actually due to get my next testosterone shot next week, but I need to get another prescription for it. So hopefully tomorrow I can send a request to get their prescription without having to go see my doctor in person, because going to see her just to get the prescription just feels like a waste of time and money. I've been on it over a year now. Nothing's changed in the last 9 weeks. I do not need a doctor's appointment, thank you. I say 9 weeks because I think it was 9 weeks ago that I last saw her, because each time I get a prescription it's for 4 vials, so it would have been 12 weeks. It's for 4 vials and I get a shot every 3 weeks. Oops, that was too much ink. I'm not doing ink on every single line, because some of them just, I feel like they don't need it. I really like this. I should do scenery type stuff with gouache more often, but I think this is finished. Hope y'all like it too. As usual, I'd love to hear about what art things you have been up to. I think I will, in fact, use some washi tape around the edges. For I really should have put the washi tape down around the edges so I could have put that around to tidy it up. You know, done that thing that people usually use washi tape for. Where are scissors? Right next to me. Wow. I will probably fill the rest of the page up with little bits like this. I don't know if I'll end up doing those in real time, drawing with you, chatting with me while I do it, or if I'll end up recording that and then speeding it up. We'll have to see as we see. In my last Hedgehog Journals order that arrived, I got these little stickers. Look how cute they are. There were 2 more of them, but I've already placed them. But look how cute. I should do a painting that I can stick all 3 of these around. But yes, I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.